Hey everyone, Jim Haas with Blaze. I have a second video on the Blaze soft close hinges that are now on all of our access doors and all of our carts. I will paste the first video I did in the comments below, and that deals really with just basic install, basic adjustment of our soft close hinges. This video is going to focus more on troubleshooting and some things that I've seen out in the field a number of times, just putting a lot of these things together as far as carts, access doors, soft close hinges. So I'm going to show you a couple things that I have found out in the field, and hopefully this video will make your life a little easier. Here we go. First thing I want to show you before installing this bottom hinge onto the side of the cart. We're dealing with carts right now. It actually is held in with a screw over on the side, and then there's two on the inside that hold this hinge in. Before you put this hinge on there, you've got your basic cart put together. I'll kind of come out here a little bit so you can see what I'm looking at. Excuse the missing control panel. We're doing some other videos at the same time here. Here's a cart. I took one door off. Basically, it's not going to have any doors when you first put this whole thing together. You want to make sure that, especially in these bottom front corners, that this is flush. A lot of times what I've seen is that this bottom corner gets pushed in a little bit, ever so slightly. So you want to just make sure that those corners are flush before you tighten down all the screws. Now, I'm also going to paste into the comments my basic cart assembly video, so that we'll have the full picture on this. But anyway, this bottom corner, if it is kicked in ever so slightly, it's going to throw the doors off, and it's going to be very difficult to get them to adjust properly. The soft close hinges have adjustment screws. I'm going to go through that a little bit on this video. I do touch on it in the other video. But basically, those front corners, want to make sure they are flush before you tighten everything up and before we even think about putting those bottom hinges on and putting the doors on. All right, so if your corners are good, let's go to the next thing. Next thing is going to be putting the doors onto the cart. They snap onto the hinges, and I'm going to show you a close-up of that. I kind of touch on that in the last video as well. I'm going to try to get a little clearer picture of exactly how those snap on. But before we do that, there are adjustments on these hinges. This is the inside of the door. There are two screws. This inner screw is going to adjust this front to back. It's going to move the door in and out. You'll actually be able to see that once this is attached to the cart. You'll be able to see that adjustment as you turn the screw. This outer screw is going to go side to side. So you'll be able to see that as well. What I have found out of the box on a lot of these is these adjustments are set to the tightest setting, making it really difficult to snap these onto the inside hinge inside the cart. And again, I'm going to go over that a little more in detail. But before we even go down that road, we want to turn both of these screws counterclockwise and open up this hinge as far as we can so it'll snap on to the cart without any problem. All right, let's see if we can see this. That outer screw adjustment, if I go counterclockwise, yeah, you can see this part of the hinge starts to come out. That's going to open that up. This inner screw, let's see if we can get this one now. Not sure if you can see that as clearly, but this adjustment here is starting to move outward, so that's going to push the door out. So we just want that open up as much as we can, and that's going to snap right on that hinge real easy. Okay, looking at the inside of this door once again. This is the part of my original video that was, I don't know if it was all that clear. It's kind of hard to describe on the phone, but the inside of these hinges, you're going to see this bar right here and right here. Those are basically going to slide into the inner hinge in this groove right inside this outer tab. You're going to see that groove. And then as you're sliding that bar into that groove, there is a tab on the outside of this hinge right here. You're going to snap that around the back of the inside of the hinge. I'll show you what I mean. Here we go. All right. Not the easiest thing to describe with a one-man camera crew, but anyway. So here's the bar on the door hinge side, and that's going to slide right into that groove. And then the tab on the back of the hinge, pull that back, and it should pop right into place. Same on the bottom, just like that. If you need a little finesse, give it a little push, it should pop right into place. And now, that's already looking pretty good. You can see, maybe you can't see, you can see that the edge of the door, the outer edge of the door is sticking out a little bit, so that's where we're going to use those 2 adjustment screws. We're going to pull that in flush with the rest of the cart, and then when we put the other door on, we're going to make sure that the side-to-side adjustment is right, and everything should line up just like that. There you go. With these couple of pointers, we should be real close to these doors lining up. I've got a couple of minor adjustments. I want to push this bottom corner out and maybe suck this top corner in a little bit. So making very small adjustments, 1 screw at a time. And remember, when you adjust one side, it's going to affect the other side. So very little adjustments. That looks pretty good. Hope this video helped.